I'm Mark Schneider, you're watching Schneider Classics, and today we're going to play with this quick little quadrijet just to see some things. So I'm working on the 67 over at the shop. That carburetor is still on there, but the top of it's taken off because that carburetor has some mechanisms wrong with it. Now this would be my third quadrijet that I owned. Yes, we are on the floor of my office looking at stuff. Look at all those Rock Auto stickers. Look at all those stickers. I just took this out. You see the snow on it. I just went and ran and took this. Ooh, that thing have to be scraped off and dealt with. I just went and took this out of the storage shed because I got to take it. I'm going to take off the top here and make sure that the float is working in there because really want the float in here. A lot of things to check with this stuff. You want to make sure, like right there, you can see that's moving that a little bit. Awesome, so that's working. We want to make sure that works. A lot of the linkage here is working. You can see in there all that. So what our float is underneath here, and this is your prime injector. You want to make sure that spring is good and everything. So the other carburetor was on there. It was sort of working for pouring stuff underneath there, and the throttle was working. But the float and all the internal mechanisms were rusted together and were not working properly. Even the throttle was sort of working, but it was getting stuck open inside the carburetor. So what's on the 67 right now on that 350 is another quadrijet. This is one I have in the shed that's spare. So I'm maybe pulling this apart, making sure it's good, getting a kit for it to make sure it's good. But I want to make sure this one's good first before going and swapping it onto the truck, rather than doing all that work a fourth time. Because I will, ooh, hello leaf. I will be pulling this off. I do need to get a carburetor, a fuel filter for the carburetor. You can see here on our throttle mechanism. So everything's working there. Everything works on the throttle mechanism. And these old quadrijets, for the most part, they will always work, and their throttle mechanisms will pretty much always run no matter what. A big problem I have seen so far with these quadrijets, just having them, sometimes the linkage in here for the vacuum advance and all that gets broken or dislodged, especially internals, if someone's taken it apart, not knowing what they've done, and put it back. Not saying that I have ever done that, not at all, not ever. Yes, I have. And so we have a little fuel filter there. They all look like the, oh, does this one actually have a little window? No, it's just a metal plug. Sometimes they have a little window there to see the fuel. I know a lot of the newer Holly carbs have that. But yeah, we have our fuel filter there. This one obviously was not had the best life to try and get off, so we're going to have to try and get that out. Ooh, looks like I can almost just take that off by hand. That's not good. That means somebody's been in this carburetor. I took this off of that 305 that we got originally and swapped in the middle of winter onto that truck before that 305 failed. So I'll be able to check. Oh, that's actually not a bad filter. Spring's still in there. Awesome, already off to a good start. So I'm gonna put that back for now. And I thought also while I'm doing this, because one, I'm leaving to the city for a week to go and do my schooling, so I won't see the truck for a week. I might as well do something for the truck. So you can buy rebuild kits for this. I'm obviously not. I may try and save as much of the gaskets as I can. I just want to check her out and make sure that float is working inside, because as long as that float's working, I actually might even be able to yeah. So this I'll change out for my other one that's on my other engine. That right here is your vacuum. Typically the vacuum back here goes to your boosters, which is like what I have set up on the 67. Different throttle linkage and all that. But I have the correct bolt to go through there. I think this carburetor is going to work. You can see that bounces back really nice. So that's probably good. It'll typically say, if you want to know you have a quadrijet, it will say right there on the side, it's a Rochester quadrijet. Pretty much I try and make sure I get one with every single motor, but you can't always be blessed that way. The other one I am going to fully take it apart and probably make another video on it, because that other one, as much as it's like all the internals are messed on it, I am going to see if I can get a full rebuild kit on that and fully rebuild that carburetor. Has some markings here. As far as I know, this should work. It just has a lot more vacuum settings on it, so I'm probably going to cap a lot of this stuff off. So here we have it apart. That little thing is normally what you do. I did, which is the less uncommon thing, is I bent it, pulled it out. Didn't want to do it. This little guy here, there's that little screw on the end there, so you can take this off and that adjustment plate. Now the main reason I just wanted to pull this apart, and the only reason I wanted to pull this apart, was to check the internals, because my other one was fine, except for everything inside here was rusty. So there's a little bit of gummed up stuff there, nothing really to worry about. This just holds your retainer and stuff for your float, as long as the float moves easily, which it does, because that's your float mechanism. She's a little bit dirty in there. You just gotta watch too, because this sits on top and sits right here. These two little things go inside these, and that stops that. You want to make sure not to lose. So like a lot of this stuff, this pushes down. The two little needles in there, and that I'm gonna have to reset that. This gasket came off as one piece. It's very fortunate with that. Oh, a little tear right there, but that's fine. That's between here. Otherwise, this all looks really good, and nothing I have to worry about. Close off that injector, because what happens is as the float goes up, it closes that off, and so no new fuel can come in here. This is where did I just put that? Oh, right here. This is your accelerator pump. It sits in here, and so as that goes up and down from your throttle, you get that going. There's a lot of stuff. This one is very fortunate that this vacuum pump is screwed onto the side and comes off. Sometimes they don't, and that's really hard to get this thing unhooked. But otherwise, this all looks really good. I am probably gonna go in here a little bit and clean some stuff up. Clean all that gunk out, because here, if I can get a, ooh, look at that, yummy, tasty. But nothing seems clogged. All this just actually seems like a little bit of settlement just from sitting in the shop. So I'm gonna quickly clean all this out, and then we're gonna put it back together. So now we're gonna start putting it back together. I just threw the camera on the shoulder strap because I kind of like this point of view. And also I want you to know, like, this is only my second time ever digging into one of these carburetors. I am not a carburetor guy. I play with a lot of small motor carburetors, a lot of Briggs & Stratton carburetors. That's mostly it. So this is a little bit newer to me, but I understand how it works. And just to tell you that you can do this pretty much anywhere. It's better to do it on a clean, flat surface and a clean spot, rather than the edge of the stairs behind your office chair. I'm just doing this because I'm like, oh, I may quickly just take a quick look into it, and then I dove deeper into it. So let's quickly put all this back. That's our primer. I don't want to clean. I'm gonna probably clean this up a little bit more, but that's gonna be. Hopefully, the over the shoulder look works a little bit to see how I put this thing quickly back together. But I am gonna end this video with me putting this on the truck and you hearing how this runs on the truck. So I'm gonna have to go back and add that into the footage later, which will probably be like a week or two from now. But I want to show you guys that, look, I rebuilt this. Like, even someone who has not as much carburetor, well, someone who doesn't have a lot of experience with these carburetors can take this thing apart, put it back together, and have it run and work well. And just how the fundamentals of, like, this is your fuel filter, this is your injector pump, inside there is your float and everything. And when the float, so what happens is that little bowl fills up with fuel, and when it sits there full of fuel, it's supposed to close off that little pipe that's right here and stop fuel from entering in here because it's full. So your float pole's full, so it stops fuel from you over fueling your engine and flooding it. My other carburetor, that was the only thing that didn't work. I started taking this apart. I took it apart on top of the truck when I was rushed, when I didn't have time, and I messed up big time. So this one's being its replacement because I screwed up. This one's good, so this one's going on the truck. Don't be like me. Take your time, and just do things slowly, properly. I did not do things properly. I should have replaced that gasket when I pulled all this apart. But meanwhile, this is going to go on the truck. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit, and you'll see this on the truck next. Now let's throw the new carburetor on. We got some new gaskets here. As you can see, I messed this one up, and this one is just filthy. Not good. So take this one off. This one's there you go. I'm gonna buy a rebuild kit for it. Get that one rebuilt, hopefully. Where are my long bolts here? Ooh, that's not good. Pull this carburetor off, swap the new one on, and we'll go there. But interrupting your broadcast here, we got some mail. I'm gonna set this in the back of the truck. We have some mail here, some stuff. Stuff with Cryztal. Oh, look at that. No way. Okay, this is actually kind of cool. Stuff with Cryztal sent us a shirt. That's actually rad. What you guys have all been waiting for on the calendars and stuff. We got some calendars here. Now, these calendars were awesome. We had a little shortcut on the channel all for them. Because we got 113 Monster Us, Wood and Metal Garage, Mongo's Garage, Junkyard Clunkers, Twisted Metal, Wasted Talent Fabrication, Stuff with Cryztal, who just sent a big block, 402, Schneider Classics, Automotive Garage, and I think there's a couple more in here. Like, oh, look at that. We're in a calendar. This old truck and me is in a calendar. We're in February. So I had to buy a couple of these for myself because one, all the profits of this, all the proceeds are going to a food bank local to Stuff with Cryztal. He set this all up. He got this all going. Very proudly go and do this. And I thought, you know what, like this time I've opened up a lot of mail in shorts. I thought, why not? Let's open up some mail for you guys. If you guys want to send anything and stuff, I'll gladly open it up on camera because this is stuff for the channel, supported by the channel. And right now, I gotta switch that shirt. So, go the old bear skin. Put on a Stuff with Cryztal shirt. There we go. Stuff with Cryztal. Even though we're Schneider Classics, this is Stuff with Cryztal. Now back to your regular broadcasting. Get that carburetor off and put the new one on. got here first. She runs. That's going to be the end of this video. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Oh, the next video we're going to be putting on, he's already getting it ready. We're going to be putting the flat deck on the truck. So stay tuned because this is going to get fun.